Hey Melbourne City fans, this is Charlie for Melbourne City FC, voice of a fan, and this is just a short video on explaining how I started supporting Melbourne City and how I became a fan. And so it started back. So when the A League started, I wasn't really a fan of the A League. I didn't support a team. Everyone was jumping on the Melbourne Victory bandwagon, but it just didn't please me at all. Um, a lot of my family members are Victory fans, so they would tell me to go and go and go, but I just wasn't interested whatsoever. I was more of a EPL and La Liga type of fan, and the A League just didn't interest me at all. And it wasn't until it was announced that the A League announced that they were going to have another Melbourne team, and I was like, yeah, I was excited because I was like, you know what, I'll support it, especially because Melbourne Victory already had a following. They already had championships. So I was like, go for the underdog, go for the other side. And when Melbourne Heart came along, humble beginnings. They're in Latrobe, using, ice baths, you know, using ice baths in wheelie bins. It was, I just liked about it. And I enjoyed going to the games. Um, I enjoyed always going to Melbourne Heart games. And I excited. Um, and then when we made the transition to Melbourne City, I was also excited because now we have a little bit of money coming in, so that would help with our development, our training facilities. Which, I mean, look at them now. I mean, it's absolutely amazing how they do everything. But that's what got me into supporting Melbourne City, and I just went and went and went and went to every game, home games, and I just didn't stop. It's been 16 years since we joined, 15, 16 years, and I'm still here today, and even making a channel. So yeah, that's how I became a Melbourne City fan. It's been up and downs regarding the club, especially in the early stages, as well as that period when we went to like those four finals in a row, four finals in a row, and it's been an up and down joyride. I remember when we won against Sydney at Amy, and it was the best. I wasn't able to go to last season's one against Victory, yeah, but of course I watched it, and it was just the best. I still feel same love I had back then for Melbourne City, and I still have my old merch, Melbourne Heart merch, and yeah, that's just a little yeah, Melbourne City brings a little something, to me that I enjoy, and that's why I love the club, and hopefully I share the same love with other supporters with me. Um, but yeah, it'd be great if you following the channel, put a comment and say why you started following Melbourne City. It could be for any reason. Uh, my reason was because Victory just didn't appeal to me at all, and Melbourne Heart did. Um, slash Melbourne City. So yeah, so that was just a short video. I'll be bringing more videos regarding just a little bit of Melbourne City history I have with myself, and just to bring a little bit of myself in. People, everyone get to know me, and yeah, so it'll be great. I'll be following another video soon. So stay tuned. And well, City fans, see you again. And this is Charlie for Melbourne City FC, voice of a fan. Thank you. You don't support a team, really. So I was excited when they announced that the new Melbourne team was gonna come on. And I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll give it a chance, give it a shot. Why not? And I remember when Melbourne Heart was announced, and I liked it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be all in, just to go for a few of the games and just to see how it goes. And yeah, you know what? I actually enjoyed going to the Heart games. I really did. There was something that I just enjoyed going to Amy, seeing him play, and it's just something about him that just kind of appealed to me. I wasn't really somebody that was persuaded by victory, even if they had the fans and they had championships by then and stuff. But it just didn't appeal to me. And Melbourne Heart did, I guess, because the way Melbourne Heart started very humbly there in Latrobe, and they used to use bins as ice baths, and and back then, it was humble beginnings by Melbourne Heart. It really was, and that's what I loved about it. I really did. I like that underdog status they had, and that's what really got me yeah, into them. And I started enjoying going to the games, and throughout the years I just went and went and went, and already it's been what since then 16 for 15 years, and I'm still there. I'm still going to the games, and I'm still supportive, and I enjoy it, and so that's how I became a Melbourne City fan. And I remember when it escalated when Kevin Muscat hurt Zara when he did that horrible shit tackle, and it just pissed me off. It made me even more anger towards them, and I was like, "Nah, I'm never going for this team ever." And Melbourne Heart just stuck to me, and they've been stuck ever since. And yeah, and then we made the transition to Melbourne City. I was um I was happy that we transitioned because it became more stabilized, professional, and it's just something that I enjoy. Always going, very therapeutic going to watch, because especially when we're the defending champions, and we have to support the boys, and that's why I support Melbourne City. And I know a lot of people always give flack about we don't get crowds, and that's been being said for years. But that's always a thing. But we always, so true supporters support their team. It doesn't matter if there's one person in the stadium, or there could be 30,000. Doesn't matter. You support your club, and we're defending champions, and we started playing like it. So yeah, that was just a short history about why I became a Melbourne City fan, and yeah, hopefully follow up. I'll be following up next video on how I became a hater for Melbourne Victory.